So systems and people are two of the key areas that we look at on our business growth program, and quite often they're the starting point with our business growth clients. Another thing to look at with people is your recruitment process. Make sure that you specify your role correctly. That means the whole recruitment process is much more efficient, whether you do it yourself or use an agency, depending what your preference is. If you know what you're looking for, it's very easy to throw away the CVs that don't comply. But if you're not quite sure, you end up interviewing people who don't fit the bill that you haven't yet defined. You can improve the quality of your staff by training them, investing in training. So you've got your existing staff, you can train them to take on new roles, internally or externally. And we're great supporters of the National Apprenticeship Scheme. I'm going to embarrass Kevin at the back. There's a graduate of the National Apprenticeship Scheme. He's completed his AAT Level 3 through that, and we're now putting him through his AAT Level 4, at which point he'll be a fully qualified accounting technician. So we've trained him in the office for certain things, and then he goes off to college to learn the theory, which comes back to apply in the office, and the work he's doing in the office helps him to understand what he's learning in theory. So they work very well hand in hand, the on-the-job training and the third-party training. When you've got your staff, keep improving things and keep communicating with them. You have a formal appraisal system, by all means, but you should always be communicating with them in between, and make sure you give them good points as well as areas for improvement. And the feedback should be both ways as well. I always say when I come to formal appraisals, I don't want any surprises. You should be communicating and on top of that throughout the year. When you've found your staff, get your contracts in place. Members of the Federation of Small Businesses, you have access to standard employment contracts and standard employment procedures. If you want anything beyond that, I would say please, please invest your money in paying for an HR solicitor who will draw up the correct contracts. If you have the slightest whisper of a problem, talk to a solicitor. It's an investment, not a cost. They can save you a fortune in the long run if you get the advice at an early stage. The other person who can offer you advice on employment things, your accountant can advise you on tax-efficient packages for yourself and your staff. So talk to your accountant about easy, efficient ways to remunerate your staff. So find out what they want, what will make them happy.